EIDL loans are being processed in record speed with shockingly big amounts. This is LALATE with a Bombshell exclusive for Sunday, May 10th. Thanks for tuning in. As always, like and subscribe and stay with us and drop your comments, and we may feature them in tomorrow's video. Let's get right to it. 24 pages of details today about the EIDL loan and just some shocking details. We had asked you yesterday if you had received an EIDL loan response from SBA, and the comments came in, and we're delivering you these exclusive details today, Sunday. For the first time ever, we now know how much these loan amounts may be. We certainly know the loan terms. It's 30 years, fixed, and the interest rate's about middle 3%. But we've never known the loan amounts until now. We had wondered if the loan amount is dependent upon your credit score, and if so, how that can be impacted. Yesterday's video for Saturday, May 9th, we featured Jeep Willie, who had gotten a loan offer of $1,000 to $24,000 that was later declined. But today we have lots of people who were accepted, and we'll learn about those amounts. First, a recap. On Friday, LALATE detailed to you exclusively that SBA has indicated now if you receive your EIDL grant, within 2 to 3 weeks thereafter, you will receive an email from SBA inviting you to go to the portal, a portal set up by SBA to process a loan application. It's at that point you'll submit answer a few series of questions, and then be prompted to answer a final request. Thereafter, we didn't really know what happens until today. So let's get right to it. And I'm going to jump right to one particular person's comment that is the most probative that we've seen about this process. It gives us insight about the amount and what goes on. WRX writes on Saturday, on May 23rd, I applied for the old SBA EIDL application. My credit score back then was 700. March 29th, they pulled Experian. April 3rd, I quickly applied for the new EIDL application. I put 0 employees. On April 17th, I received a $1,000 EIDL grant. So he got his grant on April 17th. May 2nd, he received the email. So that's exactly in keeping with what SBA and our reporting exclusively on Friday was. 2 to 3 weeks after the grant, he got the email. From SBA, they're working on my loan. On May 4th, he got an email saying to set up a portal account. So that's the email. Remember, there are 2 emails. There's that one possible email you get or you don't get. It's much of nothing. Don't worry about it. It says they're processing and working on stuff. If you don't get it, don't worry about it. It's the second email, the email inviting you to go to a portal. He got it on May 4th. On May 5th, after setting up his detail in the portal, SBA contacted him and requested more documents. Now, this is interesting because you're going to see in some of the other responses, they don't say request more documents. If you went through this process, indicate in the comments below what documents, if any, you had to provide to them after you went into the portal, because so far there's a little bit of a debate about that. So the WRX provided the additional documents, and the next day, May 6th, SWRX was approved for a loan. How much was that a loan? $1,000 to over $250,000. $260,000 for him to choose. It was verified steps. He says as of Saturday, he has not signed the document. He's still studying the loan agreement, and he hopes this will guide others. Well, it absolutely does. We now know with an Experian 700 score and a grant given about 2 to 3 weeks ago, he had to go to the portal, submit additional documents. We don't know what those documents were, but was then approved within 24 hours for up to a little bit over $250,000. So let's get a little bit to the news before we get to the rest of the comments. LALATE reported today that this EIDL loan is needed more than ever. And the reason why is shocking news out of Washington today that the unemployment rate could surpass 25%. Steve Mnuchin on morning talk shows across the country and on Sunday said that the unemployment rate may be actually much worse than we currently believe. This is no fault of the American business. This is no fault of American workers. This is the result of a virus, he told Chris Wallace on Fox Sunday News. The reported numbers are probably going to get worse before they even get better, and next year will be the turnaround. These numbers impact real people. They aren't rosy. They're very bad. So let's get back to the loan. So let's see what everyone else says. Crazy Dane says he applied for on April 10th, got the $2,000 grant on April 4th, didn't have credit score, but still waiting for the loan. Cut Action asks a question. I've been tracking this too. I applied on 3/30. Is a coincidence with these dates? So what he or she is asking is, yeah, there's a lot of people who applied for that EIDL grant and has still not received it, and those are the people who applied on 3/30. There's a lot of coincidence going on. Watch the EIDL grant story. Matt says a few of his friends got the EIDL grant within a few days after applying for the agricultural process that went live on Monday. All right, so Alan says, I went through the Streamline application that there was an application for a loan for 1,000 employees for forgivable advance. There was no separate application for the loan. Correct, Alan. So, but what we're discussing here is that after you receive the grant, you're going to receive this invitation to a portal. The invitation will come from SBA. It's at that point you go in and answer more questions. That is what effectuates the EIDL loan. That is the next step. William says, SBA told me they were unable to verify my bank accounts in error and that will be reviewing those applications. They got an email on them. So that's fascinating. Just as we've been reporting, that if you do not have you have incorrect information with them, that will back up the process. Anthony says, I applied through the Streamline portal the first day it opened. I got the SBA loan application, but I've not received an EIDL grant. I did get a PPP. I have an 800 credit score. No rhyme or reason. So this is very, very disconcerting. He has a 800 credit score and even hasn't even gotten the grant. So if that's the case, you need to call SBA. Steve says no grant either. I just skipped the advance button in the error. Can an applicant get a loan offer but be denied a grant at that point, or do I need an approval? That's a great question, Steve. So if you did not get a grant because you forgot to push the grant button, do you still qualify for the loan? Absolutely. The grant is just a grant advance against the loan. It is not, you do not have to refund it. But if you don't want the advance because you didn't click the button, then that does not take you out of the system. You will also be receiving that loan email to go to the portal shortly. So that answers your question, Steve. And thank you for watching. Chucky says, many Uber drivers have already received an EIDL grant, also applied for PPP and PUA. How will that turn out? It will turn out as a hot mess. I mean, there's nothing else to say. PPP is not for Uber and Lyft drivers in any sense of the fashion, unless you have a business and you employ other PPP drivers. PUA makes sense. EIDL makes sense. Now, whether or not you need an EIDL loan or whether you qualify, that's a whole other question to be decided by the loan officer. Curtis says, I received an email and my scale was 1,000 to 3,000, and I selected 3,000 waiting for approval. I've not received any grant application money. So I think what he's saying is he was offered a loan for only up to 3,000, if I understand the question. I understand his response. Sibo says, this evening I received an email to create an account through SBA, and the amount was 1,000 to 150,000. So Sibo says, if that is after he went through the process, that he has been offered up to 150,000. Jeff Ramsey says, I'm self-employed. I applied for the EIDL. I received a $1,000 advance after Experian credit. I received an email on May 4th for me to sign up to the portal and is asked to accept or deny $19,200. What a strange number. I mean, that's very strange. We had Jeep Willie yesterday with 1,000 to 24,000, but this was exactly 19,200. I'm not sure where the 200 is coming from. No second credit check. Oh, so there was no second credit check. Later, I do have a 740 credit score. No other amount was offered either, and it was all 19,200 or nothing. That is also very strange. So we have all these people with these ranges, 1,000 to 150,000, and then this person, for some strange reason, has this 19,200, take it or leave it. Later that night, I was contacted by an SBA contractor using the email address to confirm my bank account. I confirmed it. I signed the closing portal documents on May 6th. The money hit my account. Interest is 3.75, around $90 a month, beginning a 1-year, 30-year term. So he got the offer on May 4th for $19,100. He accepted it on May 5th, and on May 6th, the money was there. So these are exclusive, shocking details. It only took 24 hours to receive the money, and it only took 48 hours from the offer, from the date of receiving the offer to the portal to actually receiving the money. Great information. Thank you. Mahali says, I received the email to set up my username and password. However, the amount listed was $1,000 to $6,500. Again, another strange number, $6,500. And to check the box to accept the loan, which I did that day before receiving the email, the credit was pulled, waiting to see what happens. Well, based upon the last person's comment, you should receive the funds within 24 hours after clicking that button. Indy says, I applied for EIDL. I called SBA and spoke twice. I still haven't received the grant, but I did receive a loan offer on Friday, which was the 8th, May 8th. So I was given the loan offer of $1,000 and $9,000 for the portal. Okay, so that's a more rounded number. I selected the $9,000. My credit score in Experian was about 640. That's interesting. I don't know if these credit scores are really playing into it, because one person had a credit score of over 700 and got a very low credit offer, but another person had a little bit over 700 and got a $250,000 offer. Also in the portal, it will give the option to update your banking information, my banking information. Oh, that's fascinating. So during the loan process, 2 people have said their banking information was incorrect, and the process allowed them to fix it. So again, great details we're giving you today. Gigabyte, thanks, LALATE. Appreciate all the updates. On 3/30, applied, credit check 4/15. This morning, I received a loan portal email for $150,000. Well, congratulations, Gigabyte. I was able to verify an identity and was submit for processing. I will keep you updated. By the way, I have a PPP loan as well. So yes, you can get both the loans if you don't use them for the same purpose. A lot of documents to keep track of, Gigabyte, but congratulations. Buy and sell. Hello, LALATE. Thanks for answering my questions on your show. I've watched your many videos, and you seem to be the most reliable source. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you for your videos, very detailed. Although we're declined for the EIDL, I now look forward to doing other stuff. Super uber videos. Keep up the awesome work. Well, thank you so much. Really, really appreciate it. Gindalens says, hello, LALATE. Great info. Thanks. Well, appreciate it. I applied on 3/30. Credit score pulled 4/14. Received the email 5/2 that the application was in process. Called SBA on 5/7. 5/9 received the portal email. So on 5/9, which is Saturday, received the SBA portal email to complete the loan. I completed the registration right away with 4 security questions, which took me to the portal. To the maximum amount was $3,100. What's with the $100? Strange amounts. I was surprised because I was expecting, but it was okay. I clicked to verify where the funds would be sent. I remember at that moment when I applied on 3/30, I added my personal checking account because I didn't use my ESPN. So on the 3rd tab, the documents assigned, but it was not available to check in. My whole purpose of the application was for the $10,000. They probably deny my application like that other guy. My credit is on the 650. But thank you for all your YouTube channel, great content, most precise information. Thanks a lot. We'll let you know if any other information. Also applied the same day from my church. No credit pulled or nothing. That was one of my concerns for the church. I understand their business is struggling, but thank God, sorry for my grammar, Best blessings. Well, congratulations. I don't know if she got the $10,000 grant, but and she had requested. Oh, she did not get the $10,000 grant, but in the end, she got a loan for $3,100 with a 640 credit score. So congratulations, and it only took really 24 hours to get that. Jermaine, you're awesome. Real concerns, real people. Keep it up. You will be the only one to get to the bottom of this. I wish there was more people too, but stay here, and that's our job. Great job, and we appreciate you, and appreciate your comments. Thank you. Dominic says applied 331. Advance grant was paid on April 22nd. No credit check awaiting on the portal. Good information. So no credit check on that one. Rich says you're doing a great job. Independent contractor applied 4-2 for the grant. Received the $1,000 grant on May 1st. May 2nd received that email that they're just working on stuff. And so next week we'll see. I'll keep you updated. So he has not received the portal invite. So it's interesting. A lot more of you have received the portal invite than I thought you would have. I would have thought that a lot of you, since most of you received the check, the grant, not this Friday, but the Friday before, would receive the portal invite maybe this coming week. But some of you, that's what, 3 or 4 of you, received it on Saturday or Friday. So bigger numbers than I thought. David, you're a lot of fun. Keep up the good work. Great to listen to. Well, thank you, David. Thanks for tuning in. Robert, with a very long email, very long message. This one, if you have stayed with me, is probably one of the most probative ones that we have here. I'm going to jump to it. He says he had heard the minimum credit score is 570. Apparently, they're looking for a Vantage score of 3.0, not a FICO score. I confirmed this by matching the score he sent on my application with my current Vantage score of 330. Long story, they raised the top amount to $150,000 for most all businesses. Not everyone gets the option to take the $150. Interesting. So listen to what he has to say. There is a formula. You might remember there was only 2 actual financials numbers requested on the short application form: gross receipts and cost of goods sold. There is speculation that the top loan amount they offer, here we go, bombshell, is gross receipts minus cost of goods sold. Example, $100,000 gross receipt minus $50,000 expenses, $500,000 your top limit of your loan. You can choose any amount lower. Others have said the formula is gross receipts minus COGS divided by 2. I don't want to lose you on this, but the No Lies representative told me that once you get an offer and you choose the amount accept, there it goes to the legal team who can decide whether to deny the loan. I don't know that's true, because we see a lot of people that are basically docu-signing it and the next day are getting the funds. So there you go. Hope these comments help. They are. They're very long. I'm not going to read through all of them, but if you look at yesterday's video, he had some great stuff there. Joe says he's received the grant on 4/14. He has still not received the portal invite. So there you go. Rahim, LALATE, thanks for your advisements. Got my EIDL grant of $8,000. Got my PPP of $92,000. I'm waiting to hear back about my EIDL. It's been since April 2nd. Stay with us and drop a comment below if you get it this week. David, by the way, was never offered any advance, just the EIDL loan application. Okay, good to know. Douglas, I applied on March 31st. I have heard nothing. Crickets. Everything is doing, so he has gotten nothing and no progress. So Douglas Brown, I would really just stay on it. It's very, very frustrating. I would just keep on calling SBA. I know it just sounds like a broken record, but that's the only thing I could say to you, is really just call SBA. I will say to you that if you applied and you applied on March 31st, I was just going to say, if you applied on March 30th, this March 30th and March 31st date appears to be absolutely a vortex of problems, and I don't know why. All these comments about people not getting things are March 30th and March 31st. It is just a repeated incident, and I don't think it's just a coincidence. So stay on top of it. There's something going on. Wayne, mine was rejected supposedly due to low credit. I have nothing to say. I was just told to call in. Sad to hear that. Bradley, I appreciate your videos. Well, thank you, Bradley. I applied for the agricultural loan. Oh, so he applied for the agricultural loan on Monday. On May 6th, we received the $2,000. And on May 8th, I got the application for the loan. And the next day, I was offered $5,700. There you go. That is a fast turnaround. In less than a few days, while a few of you are frustrated not even getting your EIDL grant money, the agricultural people are getting their grant and their loan money within 2 days. Shocking. He asked a question. Now that the account now shows a progress bar on the top is funding, I assume everything is going to, I don't see the loan approved anywhere, just application approved. Do you think the loan was approved? So if you, Wayne Roberts, Bradley Cooper, Bradley Collins, if you had applied for gone on the portal for the EIDL loan, went through the process, clicked all the buttons, and then press submit and chose your loan amount and sign your DocuSign document, you should be receiving the funds within about 24 hours, one business day. Since this is Sunday, I would check Tuesday because banks don't route money on the weekends. If you haven't after that, then I would call SBA. Brienne applied for EIDL last week of March. Here we go. Oh, received a grant 2 weeks later. Okay, there we go. And a portal invite a few days later. Wow, that's amazing. Accepted the loan 1 week later. Received a call from SBA asking for more application information. Our portal now shows decline status. Then I received another email. According to PES reports, it appears to be that the maximum EIDL loan amount has been capped at $150 this week due to funding concerns. If it was a larger amount, then the larger isn't supposed to be downgraded to $150. A minimum credit score of 680 appears to be required for larger loans. What's going on? Don't really know. That is not consistent with what these other people are talking about. It's all I can say to you is we do have people getting loans under 640. We do have people getting denied for loans under 640 credit score, but we do have people getting offers of over 150,000. So I don't believe the reports are accurate. I think it's just a lot of conjecture. Pierre says something happened to him, but I don't see it in the comments though. Juana Pogrera says got the loan offer on May 8th, $1,000 to $3,000. Appears it was less than the net income. It's processing. He never got grant money. So interesting. He never got grant money, but I got the loan. So good to know. Boy, we have so much here. I mean, it just keeps on going on. I'm going to do is I'm going to save the rest of this for tomorrow. There is just so much. But as always, stay with LALATE for more.